Ben Emons, he is the MD Macro Strategy at Medley Global Advisors, joining in from Los Angeles. Thank you so much, Ben, for taking time out. And it's absolutely catastrophic what's playing out day after day. On the one hand, of course, the medical fears and the fact that we're not really getting over this pandemic anytime soon, global recession, mounting volatility. What's going on?
Yeah, it is definitely chaotic. And as you highlight, right, you have two issues at work at the same time. You have the health crisis that will continue, right, because we're going to see more breakout happening both in the United States as well as in Europe. And that's partly because of all the testing that's going on. And at the same time, we have the economies facing a shutdown, so to speak, what we call economic stop. And we have to do this because otherwise we can stop the spread. And so that dynamic plays out in the financial markets. And what markets are struggling with is to understand, like, to what extent is the health crisis going to last for that long, that therefore we have to maintain this stop in the economy before the spread is slowed down. And I think that causes a lot of uncertainty and volatility.
Got David Lennox with us as well. David, throw into the mix, of course, what's happening on crude. Yet another massive slide yesterday, and I'm amazed that the Saudis are not letting up, given what's happening in the global environment currently.
There are significant players in the oil market, and that is the Saudis and Russia. And unfortunately, there does appear to have been some falling out between the two, and it will, we believe, take some political will for OPEC and Russia to come back together.
But David, here's the thing, right? You've got economies and central banks after central banks coming out and announcing stimulus. That doesn't seem to be stalling the market fall. What, to your mind, are the markets pricing in? Because right now, it's one of those moments where you just want to throw in the towel, protect whatever capital that you have and just sit on cash.
Look, certainly in the oil markets, yes, it's been the demand that's been of some concern with the COVID-19 virus. We've seen over the course of 2020 the demand starting to drop away as the virus spread. It was the impact of the breakup that did cause the oil price to finally submit to what we've seen now, a low of nearly $20. We do believe that OPEC has the capacity to cut production without the Russians. However, again, we reiterate it, it's going to take some political will, or in fact, we will see a significant decline in revenues in the OPEC countries, and that may cause some unrest across their broader populist base.
Right. David, you sometimes, when things go beyond economics, I wonder that when will the Arabs and the Russians start seeing each other eye to eye, because they both know that oil at $25 or oil at $30 is going to cost them dearly. What are they trying to achieve by destroying this entire energy supply chain? Because it's not that Russia also has investment in oil infrastructure. Saudi Arabia also has investment in oil infrastructure. Saudi Arabia and the Arabs now will be forced to liquidate some of their global investments. So the net game is zero sum for everyone. So why can't they just come together and then call it truce?
Look, what they're doing is completely irrational. There's no doubt about it. There is a rhetoric that they were aiming at trying to dismantle the US shale industry. Well, unfortunately for both Russia and OPEC, that industry is now well established. Yes, we will see significant restructurings going on over the course of the next 12 months because of low energy prices, but that production is not going to go away. So why would the second and third biggest producers of oil turn on each other? It really is something that no one can give the exact answer except for the two parties involved. We do hope that they come to some sort of semblance of market sensibility and put some production cuts in place.
Okay. Ben, closing comments. How are you maintaining your sanity in this kind of an insane market?
Yeah, it's a great question, of course. I do think that you're calm. You need to, of course, stay calm because look at it this way, like it is unprecedented and we are not in a situation that was a business cycle driven recession or a financial crisis driven recession that we got to this. We did it to ourselves, right? So as we shut down the economy to cope with the virus, we will also turn on the economy again. And that will be the recovery in the future. So I think what you do here is the following. Cash, of course, as you mentioned earlier, is a great asset at the moment because it really stems the volatility in your portfolio, right? So that's probably a really important part now. But I wouldn't say that you want to be completely de-risking your portfolio either. You indeed look at the components of your portfolio that add to that volatility and maybe make changes there. But you also want to look forward to how we get out of this crisis and what it means for the global economy from here, what sectors will actually perform or not. And I think this is an analysis that will be ongoing. My first guess is that as countries rush to keep economies stable, they will also try to protect their systemic industries. So those like airlines and related industries will potentially be opportunities to invest in. At the same time, we also have, of course, major differences in valuations now that we didn't have before. So investors can look globally around once the recovery comes online, because one area, like say for example, in your area in Asia, will recover likely faster than the United States or Europe. So there's opportunity. And then lastly, there will always be, a rebound by itself, because at some point as the virus sort of does taper off, people will feel confident to start business again, and markets will take a cue from that. I think depending on how this exactly plays out, with all the stimulus they put in the system, we are moving towards a point where the trough in the market is reached. So I say stay calm and reach out for the opportunity when it's there.
All right, gentlemen, I appreciate your time. SGX is saying that we could be for another scary start, another 5%. We are down what I was looking at the screen in the morning.